What is up, y'all? Welcome back to another wonderful Triple S Productions. What I'm gonna be checking out is the short film Bow.
Bow, 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 bow.
Which, if you don't know, came out in, I believe, 2018 or 2019. It's a short film from Disney Pixar. I believe it screened in front of The Incredibles 2 when it did its first run, and is, you know, since then absolutely blown up and renowned as a very, very high quality short film. And I've heard nothing but great things about it. It's a Canadian-American co-production as well. So as a newly minted PR of Canada, I gotta check this one out. Spoilers, obviously.
Spoiler time!
Yeah, I'm gonna get into breaking it down. I'm gonna get into the heart of the matter. So if you wanna watch it yourself first, now is the time. Go ahead and watch it, and then you can come back and check out my thoughts on it.
Hey, let's go! Bow!
Hey, shout out Toronto! 666666666.
Turn it all up.
Like I said, Canadian co-production at least, and it looks like this one is set in Canada as well. Gotta rep. Love to see Canadian artists winning.
Setting the short in a real location really grounded it, really made it feel like, made the story feel like it could actually happen to real people. It made the characters more empathetic because they were kind of living in this real environment, not just like a generic town.
So the little bun brought home a white lady. It started off as a baby and it's starting to progress more and more, wanting to do his own things, wanting to be more independent, wanting to be his own creation, you know, wanting to do his own thing, acting like a little teenager bun, you know, just, it is what it is. It's natural. It seems to be all a part of the growing up process, but the mom's not a huge fan of it, clearly. She ate him. She ate him.
Just ate him up.
She ate him.
Shut up.
I'm not crying, you're crying!
Pixar, you done it again. I'm personally gonna be completely honest. I know this is a controversial opinion. Not always the biggest Disney fan. You know, some of the stories don't always resonate with me, especially at the age I'm at now. Obviously, loved a lot of their movies and shorts and stuff when I was a kid. But there is one thing I will say, and that's some of the stuff that they do put through. A couple of them every once in a while do have some deeper themes and meanings in them that resonate with people of all ages. And this is a great example of that. This is a great short.
That's a 10.
So I want to say first and foremost, I understand this is the first short or anything from Pixar that was directed by a female director. Domi Shi, I believe is how you pronounce her name. And excellent, excellent. You can just tell she's got a very powerful voice, very strong, very, very central connection here.
Since this story is like loosely based on my own life and I'm from Toronto, like why not set it in my hometown and pay homage to this city?
It can be difficult, you know, you want to live your own life, you don't want to be coddled over all the time, and you don't want, you know, you want to be able to do whatever you want. You want to grow up, you want to have your own life, you want to carve your own path as somebody going into the world, and you want that independence and that strong will. So that's where I resonate with the son.
I started weaving in my own personal experience of being an only child, being that overprotected little dumpling, from my Chinese mom and dad.
But the older you grow as well, you start to be able to see it a little bit more from the mom's perspective. You put so much effort, even as, again, someone who's not a parent, you put so much effort into making sure that it doesn't get hurt, that you never have to see it in any pain, that when it wants to go out and do things, maybe sometimes it can be hard to let go and just let them experience life for themselves. And that can often cause friction. The message being hit home here, it just resonates so well. The way that the father acts, the way that the mother acts, the way that the son acts, it's such a true dynamic that I think, man, it's flawless. It's something that really, I think, just resonates with a lot of people. Obviously, there's some, sounds added in. There's a soundtrack and everything to help emphasize the emotions, but there's not a single line of dialogue that's spoken throughout this entire short, and yet it is able to convey so much information and emotion and feeling onto us when you watch it, and that is the power of show, don't tell. Now, what does that mean literally when we say show, don't tell? Well, I mean, it kind of is exactly what it sounds like. Sometimes there are certain things that we can show that will help hit on a deeper chord and a deeper level than just a throwaway line of dialogue that would maybe say the exact same information and get it across really quickly. But by showing it, you're not literally telling people what to think. You're giving them an image, and then they can place their own thoughts upon it and their own feelings. And oftentimes that taps into a deeper and richer emotional well that really can be there than just simply, saying something. It's a thing that I think all good pieces of art do, and especially in a visual medium like film, it is crucial to really having a good piece and something that can just elevate any kind of video project that you do to the next level. And again, there was absolutely no dialogue, so all of those emotions that you're feeling were conveyed solely through visuals. The pain in the mother's eyes when the kid was starting to rebel, the way he looked and acted, the anger in his face, the father being, almost a little bit not indifferent, but also understanding of how everybody felt and the glue that really ultimately held and brought that family together. All of the kids, the animation is just beautiful here, as well as the food animation in particular. I almost felt like I didn't need to comment on it because of course they're gonna have some amazing visuals. But with that, the cooking sections of this look absolutely delicious. I know the son turned down that whole feast, but man, I would have been down there just
I'm hungry.
going crazy. That food looked incredible. And obviously the baos themselves look quite delicious as well. If you've never had a bao, it is a Chinese style dumpling that is just so delicious. It's quite bread heavy usually, a very fluffy dough with a mixture of pork or some other type of seasoned meat inside of it. And oh man, absolutely try and find a place near you to have one, because it's a great little steamed snack that you can have. The dinner that the mom cooked, I'm giving a 5 out of 5. And again, when the kid came back, that's another piece of it. He brought the treat that he rejected from the mother earlier when he was mad at her. Again, food as a peace offering and as a way of mending and bringing people closer and closer together, because it means so many things to so many people. This should go down in the annals of great Canadian pieces of media that have been put out. We saw some great exposure in Toronto.
Turn it all up.
Clearly, this is a very specific kind of story that's being told. If you're not aware, there's a very big Chinese community as well in Canada, and while that can help you feel at home, obviously as someone who has immigrated to a different country, I realize it's not quite always the same, and a lot of those dynamics, especially with the friend groups he wants to hang out with, the fiance that he ends up bringing home in the end, that can cause a lot of strife and stress upon the mother especially. There's different dynamics outside of that, but I don't think this film necessarily was diving into that. It's more so just how sometimes parents can imagine a life that they want to see for their kid, but at the end of the day, they have to live their own life, and you can't force it out of them, because if anything, you could end up making things worse and causing resentment, which is what some of this initial friction that was happening here was. It's beautiful. There's a lot of family dynamics that can often happen, and again, I think this is a very relatable and true story for a lot of people. Luckily for us, in this version of it, we get a happy ending where the power of cuisine and cross-cultural sharing is able to bring people together and actually strengthen their bonds and cause a happy family to come back together in ways that they may have not initially dreamed, but in ways in which everyone can be happy. However, if we want to dig a little bit deeper into it, I think it was great storytelling devices to use the creation of a food product like this as a representation of her son and the care and love that it takes into making a child. Now, obviously, in the real world, they're not the exact same amount of difficulty into it. But anyone who's ever made any kind of dumpling or anything like this in the neighborhood, I personally have never made a bao before, but I have made pierogies quite a few times. And there's similar certain things that you have to do as far as the filling, making the dough, having the kind of finesse to close it up and wrap it up properly, as seen in this short film. It's usually made as a labor of love and a way of sharing people's culture with each other, as well as celebrating it for yourself and helping stay connected to those kinds of roots. It's an act that can often bring families together, as it did in the end of this short. And it was funny to see, even though that it wasn't, it's a great little tidbit that the white girl could actually knock those baos out perfectly, and they're better than the sun even. It really, really drives home the point for me that food can bring people together across cultures as a way to bond and celebrate their differences and really, really come and strengthen the bonds between people. It really means the world, and that is the best of what cooking together can be. I often talk about it on the channel, but some of my best memories are spent in the kitchen with family members of mine or the loved ones in my life, and that is absolutely what this story is trying to drive home, as well as a great allegorical kind of story of a woman who is feeling a bit of an empty nest syndrome, and that causing the friction between her and her son's relationship. Again, it's a story all too familiar, but sometimes when they're done with a new and unique lens that lends itself to a cool and fun retelling that we maybe haven't seen exactly before, it helps freshen it up a little bit and can keep these stories going and will keep always being relatable. For that, I gotta absolutely say, I'm giving the baos in this movie, all of the cooking in this movie is getting a 5 out of 5. I heard though from the animation that it was actually quite hard to animate the little bao guy because there can be squishy and some of the animation is a little bit weird trying to make that look very natural to an actual human body. And I can totally imagine that, it just is a very great short. And I absolutely loved it. It's one of those ones that warms my heart. Real quick, real good watch. If you haven't seen it, I absolutely highly suggest it. It reminds me of the sacrifices that parents go through often to raise their kids and how they can sometimes make mistakes just because they have so much love for them and they want to care for them and do the best for them. But as a kid, you don't always feel that, and you don't always necessarily see it coming across as that, and you see it as them trying to cage you in and keep you from being able to chase after what you really want to do. So I wrap it up. I've said it multiple times, but this is an absolutely great film. I think people of all ages will resonate with it and it'll really hit home. This is a great one. If you haven't before, go check it out. I cannot sing the praises enough. This is a food and film 5-starer for me. That's what I'm gonna say. I really, really did enjoy this. This might be one of the best things I've seen Pixar put out. If you guys know anything specifically that I maybe missed, please sound off in the comments below. I'd love to discuss this short even further. I feel like I kind of tapped into all the parts of it that really resonated with me, but if there's something else that maybe I missed that resonates with you deeper, please absolutely feel free to sound off in the comments below. I'd love to discuss this further because I absolutely loved it. As well, if you have any suggestions for what you want to see me do next, if there's any other food and films you want me to check out, I've got a running list of food-related movies that I'm excited to keep on trucking through, but if there's any ones that come to your mind in particular, let me know and I'll try and prioritize that. But otherwise, this was another super fun Triple S production. I had a blast with this one. Thank you for checking it out. Subscribe again if you haven't already, and until next time, peace out, y'all.